Hello my dear friends, welcome back to LBH'S world. Today I am going to tell you the story of Helen Keller. So let's start.
Helen Keller was born in Alabama in June 27, 1880. Her infancy was normal until a year and a half of age. Then a strange disease struck her. The doctor described it as an acute congestion of the stomach and brain. The disease made her deaf and blind. The next years were tough for her family, as they knew no way to find a way through her double disabilities to communicate with her. Till the age of 7, she spent most of her time locked in her isolated dark world, unable to understand and relate to the people around her. Helen's father, the Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, who was also a teacher of the deaf, he suggested the family hire a young woman named Anne Sullivan to tutor the young Helen. On March 3, 1887, Helen met the woman who would change her life forever for the first time. She was just 3 months of short, turning 7 years old. "It was the most important day I remember in all my life," Helen later said. However, Anne Sullivan found Helen to be angry, wild and animal-like. She was so troubled and angry at not being able to communicate with others that she struck out at others, scratched and hurled herself to the ground. Anne knew her task was no easy way, but she was determined to help Helen. She started observing Helen closely and noticed that she was used to touch to explore things around her. Sullivan devised a method of making hand signs that helped Helen understand by pressing her hand, making the signs into Helen's palm. Though Helen hated this at first, she soon started making a connection between the items or objects and hand movements. One day, Anne was delighted to see that Helen smelled water and put her hand under the flow of the pump. Helen had finally understood the concepts of words. She ran around the yard, touching, holding, and pointing at things and taking Sullivan's help to spell them. Later, she even learned to speak by pressing her fingers against Anne's throat and imitating the vibrations. Now that she had learned to communicate, Helen's desire to learn grew. She learned the fingertip alphabet and shortly thereafter to write. She mastered Braille and learned to use the typewriter by the age of 10. In 1904, she graduated from the Radcliffe College. Helen then dedicated her life to improving the lives of other blind and deaf people. She also worked tirelessly to improve the world itself. She spoke out for women's rights. During World War II, she visited soldiers who had become blind and deaf due to their injuries. She raised funds for the deaf and blind. Throughout her life, she met many famous people and had many great experiences. She even met the president of her country. She became a champion for the blind and deaf and wrote many books in her lifetime. Helen Keller was a strong, intelligent woman. She overcame all the obstacles life handed to her to go on and improve not only her life but the lives of others. In 1964, she was awarded the highest civilian honor of the United States, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, by the President. She will go down in history as a lady of courage. It is from Helen that we learn about overcoming odds, that no problem is big enough and no obstacle is tall enough to hold us down, and that we can overcome all difficulties if we are strong and determined.
So I hope you understood the moral value of this story. With an interesting story like this, we will come to you again. So if you like the channel, please like, share and subscribe our channel. See you in the next video. Bye.